Hi, this is Leigh, and I'd like to welcome you to Alchemy Intuitive Arts. This is a place where I discuss my intuitive hits, my psychic readings, my dreams, the idea of energy and how it affects you and I. And if any of that interests you, I'd love to have you join me and subscribe to my channel, and we can grow together. And if you're so inclined, leave a comment and smash the like button. That said, let's get into it. So today's video is going to be about a topic that I'm sure many of you have been through, and certainly I have, and that is gaslighting. And gaslighting is something that for the most part we think is no big deal. You know, it's just a little joke, or it's something that people do unconsciously, or maybe they're just trying to give you a jab, something like that. And gaslighting comes in different forms, and with these different forms, of course, there's different energy behind gaslighting. Gaslighting in its mildest form is just an off-the-cuff joke. Maybe somebody wants to give you a hard time, a friend, or perhaps a family member, and it's really something that we typically just brush off and don't think much about. But there's other forms of gaslighting. The other form of gaslighting can occur in a more malicious way. Perhaps you're on social media and somebody is trying to maybe cancel you or give you a hard time or embarrass you or make you look stupid or whatever. And it can typically come in the form of a backhanded compliment or a joke, an inside joke about maybe somebody's physical appearance, maybe their weight, or maybe their attractiveness, or maybe their intellect, or maybe it's just any old thing. It can be a way of potentially getting other people to come against an individual if those people are rallying together and have some kind of inside joke about that person. And in its worst form, if it's done repeatedly and over time, it can literally be a form of defamation of character. And it can be quite harmful to the person that realizes there's something going on with the people they know, or perhaps it could even come from people they don't know. And we see this all the time in social media, especially, you know, celebrities get canceled and there's all kinds of jokes and gaslighting about them. If you're a public figure, this can happen quite often. But if you're not a public figure and this continues to happen by a particular group of individuals, then you could safely say that this gaslighting is intended to harm. In its worst form, in a public forum, it could be considered defamation. And that type of energy is, as you might suspect, is quite negative. can backfire as karma in a form of energy if it's intended to harm somebody. And so that is another form of gaslighting. The next form of gaslighting you might have experienced is that comes from perhaps the media or a political figure or a celebrity, or it could also come from your doctor, your physician. And this kind of gaslighting occurs when perhaps you go to your doctor. For example, a friend of mine literally had an injury and multiple injuries on her body. She went to ER and they never offered her anything for pain. And pretty much they looked her over and everything, but she didn't feel she got the care that was commensurate or that she should have had considering her injuries. The other form is, say there's a politician out there and they do something off the cuff and it seems like, what did they just say, or did they do their research? I mean, this seems like a serious problem and nobody seems to care. And it's just getting brushed off. This is a form of gaslighting that could occur in the media. It could occur, from a news station or something like that, where there's something serious happening and nobody seems to give any meaningful feedback on that. That, obviously, the energy is not conducive to a positive outcome. And in its worst form, it can be done from perhaps an evil standpoint. Perhaps somebody is intending to do something negative or intending to mislead people. And they say things that people go, okay, I can accept that, but I don't feel good about that answer. Well, there may be people who actually are doing that in a purposeful way, that are trying to do something that is underhanded or keep a secret. And clearly the energy behind that is not good either. The worst form of gaslighting can occur by people who are an intimate partner, a family member, a close friend, a group of friends, a teacher, a trusted person. And this gaslighting, if it occurs repeatedly and over time, this can cause harm to somebody. So perhaps you're in a relationship and your significant other is constantly making comments about your weight, or, how good you are in the bedroom, or, who your friends are, or how intelligent you are, or any number of things. Or your family members are calling you lazy, or making fun of you, or something like that. Or a friend group, decides to make a plan and everybody in the friend group goes, but they didn't include you. And this may have happened more than once. And of course, as a human, we have something like that happen to us. Of course, we're going to be hurt. It's gonna not feel good. And over time, it's going to be harmful. And especially if it is occurring with children. Because children do not have the ability to understand the complexity of words, and they may not have formed their self-esteem yet, and especially in an environment where it's being undermined, this can have a significant effect. Perhaps they're getting bullied at school and people are making fun of them. Maybe they're overweight, or maybe they look different from the rest of the people in the class, or maybe their financial status is different. These are all ways that people, and especially children, can be gaslit, but let's not exclude adults. Sometimes adults are excluded for crazy reasons as well. It might be in the workplace. You know, somebody may say derogatory things about what you wear to work, or derogatory things about how you speak, or derogatory things about your work, and that they feel that your IQ is not the best, whatever it is. All of these things are gaslighting. And that type of gaslighting, again, repeated and continued over time, can be tremendously harmful to a person. And the other thing about gaslighting that I would like to say is that words are spells. Now you say words are spells, that's witchy stuff. What the hell does that mean? I mean, words are spells. But keep in mind, we have energy in the things that we say. And depending on how much energy we put behind the things we say, and how many other people we rally with us to say the same things, those can be a form of a spell, because that energy is going to be going out of those individuals and directed at a single individual. If that individual is not adept at managing their own energy, then they may receive an attack. They are obviously going to receive negativity based on the words themselves, but it also is beyond the words. It also includes the energy that is coming towards them. And this is where it's so critical to keep your words positive, to protect yourself, protect your energy. And if you know somebody out there who's directing negativity at you, you can identify that and identify those individuals, and you want to return that energy. And the way you return it is you want to return that energy into the loving light of consciousness. You want that energy to go for your good and for their good. Potentially, they will change, they will grow, they will become more enlightened. But at a minimum, you can use that energy to fuel your own enlightenment, to fuel your own success. And that is another way of taking the energy of gaslighting, taking the energy of negativity, taking somebody's word spell, which may be conscious or unconscious, and using it for your own benefit. So with that said, I hope you got something out of this video. Peace. Love.